This is my crested gecko Jimmy. He is a New Caledonian species of gecko. He currently lives in this little setup here, but there's one problem. It isn't bioactive, so today I intend to change that. First, I had to clean out everything that was inside. With this background, I intend to give it more climbing space. Once I was done and the dirt was all cleaned out, it was time for me to work on my background. For this background, I plan to give him space to climb while also having good hiding spots. Having it like that can be very beneficial to the gecko by giving him more comfort within his terrarium. At first I planned to add both of the sticks to the background, but it was taking up too much space. So instead I decided to add just one stick. I ended up having to hold it still with tape so it wouldn't fall out of place. Once I had that settled, it was finally time for me to add my silicone. I ended up not using that other piece of cork bark because I figured I could use it for something better in the future. Once my background was set, I ended up adding some dry dirt to the silicone. The dirt must be dry, otherwise it won't stick properly. Once that was done, I let it dry overnight. Here's how it's looking so far. I decided to add a little bit of moss to the background just to give it a little more life. Definitely feel like it looks a lot better with the moss. Also, I added this really nice piece of cork bark, which is perfect for hiding. Afterwards, I vacuumed all the dirt out of the bottom. Once I was finally done with that, it was time for me to add my drainage layer. Drainage layer helps by keeping water from building up within the soil of the terrarium. I also add this mesh to divide the soil from the drainage layer. Once that was done, it was time for me to add my substrate. I added a mixture of moss along with some cocoa fiber and some organic potting soil. This will help retain humidity within the terrarium, while also helping the plants within thrive. I made sure to add plenty of soil within the terrarium just so the plants could have extra space to grow. Finally, it was time for me to add my foliage. I started by adding this plant called a scarlet star. Once I had that planted in, I had to figure out how I was going to place these sticks. I wanted to try to add in that piece of bamboo that was in there last time, but it just was too big. For this stick, I ended up having to cut it down so it could fit in the terrarium. For my next plant, I ended up adding in some beautiful fern. Once everything was placed, I decided to add some more moss within the background. Once that was done, I decided to spray it down to get everything settled in. Here's how it's looking afterwards. I decided to add a little plant of pothos just to see how well it would grow. Now it's finally time to add the crested gecko. I really liked how this turned out, and I think Jimmy does too. He's been very active lately, and I've even gotten him to hand feed. One of my favorite things about doing these kinds of terrariums is how much the animals change when they're in a new environment. It's always nice to see them doing their usual behaviors they do in the wild. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you'd like, leave a like. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye bye.